It's going to be a little questionable.
Well,
At flat side.
cool. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Decaf, the Beacon Center's weekly podcast. The good news is that the U.S. is not going to war with Iran, and the bad news is that Mark is back. As of right now. And the bad news is that Mark is back,
As
which
of right
means
now,
that...
too. Who knows if I'll be fired by next week. So
That's also true. If it was up to me, the insult count would be irrelevant because Mark would not be here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You kind of did a lot of traveling during Christmas.
I did do a lot of traveling.
You were a little bit of everywhere.
Went to Chicago, Philadelphia.
Mark saw the Jazz play. Great seats.
Second row.
Second
and it was
row.
all you can drink. You could text them. They brought you drinks, like whatever you wanted, wine, beer, and I get to high five the players in the team.
I thought you were about to hit me in the face for a second.
And that's all thanks to Ryan Green. We need to. He helped with this
Ryan.
thing. So,
Thanks, dude.
The tickets were. He gave me the tickets for free, and they were unbelievable. I want to be rich one day. That's all I know.
So thanks from Mark, and for me, Ryan. Don't do this again because now I'm going to hear about the Jazz like every day of my life.
I'm pretty sure that's already the case.
Yeah, seriously. So I guess to go straight into it, we're going to talk about sports first. Woo. So no more Jazz talk. Let's talk football. I prefer to talk football. So again, we got a good news, bad news situation. The bad news is that the Crimson Tide is not even close to playing in the national championship.
Not even the top 10.
It's LSU and Clemson, which I am distraught about.
Yeah,
and
do you hate both teams?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how I could cheer for anyone. It's just a really upsetting year for college football for me.
It's a fun year, though, because, I mean, you have to, other than Clemson who's been there, like, it is cool to have a different team. I don't love LSU. They haven't been there in a long time. It would have been cool if it was Ohio State versus that. You have two different teams.
I could get behind Ohio State more than LSU. I hate LSU
I do, too. I'm with
so
you.
much.
And it's weird because, the betting lines have LSU is like a 5.5 point favorite. I don't think LSU is going to win.
No, but I don't want Clemson to win either because I really liked Dabo until he was a whiny little baby this season.
Oh, stop. But you'll defend Nick Saban no matter what. He's like,
of course I will.
I don't want to play at noon. Oh, that's so hard on my guys. And now Dabo's, all coaches are like that. They all whine about
whatever. Nick Saban is the king. Let's go to something.
Who do you think is going to win? Do you have any?
I think it's going to be Clemson.
And are you cheering for them?
Of course not.
Okay, well, you have to pick one.
I don't have to cheer for anyone. Okay. I can be agnostic with this. I'm not cheering for anyone.
Nobody wins the national championship.
I'm cheering for my TV to go out and everyone's TVs to go out so no one can cheer for anyone. So something that we can agree on, the Titans are killing it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been following. So I love Derrick Henry.
Yes, and he had a monster week.
Roll Tide.
He also led the league in rushing yards this year.
What a great guy.
Yeah.
That's built by Bama. So what are the odds against the Ravens? I truly don't know.
Very bad. They're a 10-point underdog. But again, they were a pretty big underdog to the Patriots. And
that's the Patriots,
They probably ended Tom Brady's. He's going to play next year, but probably not for the Patriots. His 20-year career.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's probably going to leave, and I think he's going to go to the Chargers next year.
So are the Chargers good? I don't know NFL.
They're not good now, but they will be with him.
Yeah, seriously.
And they have a lot of pieces. But, the Titans had a big upset when now would be an even bigger upset because they're playing the team that is favored to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you told me about the Music City Miracle, which I didn't know what it was. The 20th anniversary of the music.
Did you watch the video?
I watched the video. It's unbelievable. Was that an upset too?
It was less of an upset as it was just an incredible play when they looked like they were going to lose the game.
Yeah.
It was the Titans' first playoff win maybe ever.
If you've never watched that video, if you are listening to this and you don't know what the Music City Miracle is, just like I didn't 20 minutes ago, go watch it.
And it's a 20-year
unreal.
Anniversary today.
Oh, today?
Today, yeah, that's why I brought it up. Yeah, 20-year anniversary as of today, and it's probably the greatest play in NFL history.
I had chills.
I
had chills, and the hair on the back of your neck stands up when you're watching something so amazing.
It is something. And I remember watching the highlights, and I didn't really even cheer from wow, that's like the Stanford cow or the kick six. I know less fun for you, but it's the same. I don't want to talk about the kick six, but that was crazy. And,
huge
and I think
game.
the Titans have a chance this week. I don't think they'll win, but they have a shot.
Okay, well let's hope that you're right. Speaking of really great things that have happened in recent history, the Tennesseans.
Last week, right?
Well, the Tennessean came out with a list of the top 10 things from Tennessee politics from 2019, and Beacon was responsible for one and had a direct influence on two others.
Yeah, probably responsible for two, really.
Yeah, seriously. So, of that top 10 list, one of the things on that list, and we were really pumped about this. We did some polling, and it found that we are very influential in the state capital.
And we're number one most heard or seen, and we're in the top 3 on all the influential categories.
Right. And so it's good to A, see polling, but B, to be recognized by the media as being part of big things that are happening in Tennessee that are going to change people's lives. So the TANF dollars that we found you probably have heard us talk about that, and if you haven't heard us talk about it, you've seen it in the media, the reserves that the state's been sitting on for money that could help poor working families.
Yeah, to get back to work and kind of like do things like babysitting or Uber rides that they can't go to work. So like kind of more of what the social welfare net is supposed to be rather than what it currently is.
Right. And so Stephanie in our office found that number as she was doing her research about poverty to prosperity, and it's really started to hold the state officials accountable.
That's right.
And then another thing that we were directly involved in that the Tennessean said was one of the top 3 political stories of 2019 was the passage of the ESA.
Which I don't think the Tennessean loves, but they did.
But they recognized it as being very influential.
Right.
And, you know, Tennessee has we previously had the IEA, the Individualized Education Accounts for Special Needs Children. And the ESA program, while it wasn't as broad as I think most of the school choice advocates would want it to be, it is a step in the right direction.
And I do want to say one thing, because I think this is important. I feel like the Tennessean takes a lot of heat, right? From like our supporters and people who maybe are right of center as this liberal rag and all this stuff. And I just want to say, like, here, it's not true.
No, it's not.
They really have treated us with the most respect when they do that. Of course, they have a liberal lean, and with one or two exceptions, they have treated us exceptionally fairly, even though they don't agree with us.
Exactly, and that's the mark of good. I mean, it's integrity, right?
Exactly.
Like when you don't agree with someone.
David Plazas, I don't think we agree with him on barely anything, but he always.
But the two of y'all get along so well.
But he treats us fairly, and now they treat us fairly, and even though they probably are a little bit left of center on the issue, I think compared to other papers across the country that we see that have a clear liberal lean.
Papers that I've worked with in the past, I love the Tennessean. I'll just say that.
And they will always, even when they disagree, they treat us fairly. So yes, they will left to center lean, and not all their stuff I like, and they do kind of tend to lean left on some things, but for the most part, they do a good job. So I do want to say, like, for all our supporters who hate them,
we love you guys.
Yes, yeah, we love our supporters, and we love it, but we also, the Tennessean treats us well, and we do need to give them credit.
Yeah, absolutely. That. And block grants, Medicaid block grants was another one. They really recognized policies that we were big parts of this year, and so we appreciate them shining light on that. And we're
even if they don't agree,
we appreciate it, and we really we're excited to have been part of such influential moves in the state last year.
Absolutely.
Here's to more in 2020, right?
I hope so.
So, shifting gears to something really funny. I hate, with every fiber of my being, award shows. They get on my nerves. I don't like watching all of these people who are only important to themselves and each other sit in a room and pat each other on the back and fake laugh at each other's jokes. Usually the dresses are ugly. I could go on and on and on. However,
please don't go on about the dresses.
I won't. But I could talk about how much I hate award shows till I'm blue in the face. However, this year at the Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais knocked it out of the park. Now,
oh my gosh,
I didn't watch it because I would like
watched
to.
It live because nobody watched it all, but they all saw the replay.
Yeah, I need to keep my blood pressure low, so I don't watch award shows. But I watched that video of his opening monologue 6 or 7 times on YouTube yesterday. I couldn't stop. It was so refreshing because usually they're sitting in this room, all these celebrities are sitting in this room only talking to each other because outside of Hollywood, like they don't think anyone exists outside of Hollywood. And they think just because they're movie stars, everyone cares about their opinion. Newsflash, Ricky Gervais's opening monologue, last time I looked on YouTube, had 87,000 thumbs up and 1,000 thumbs downs. Okay,
and
America.
He also got 300,000 new Twitter
followers. Yeah, America loved what he had to say.
It was great. I mean, it was so good. And the problem is that now a lot of the people in the media are like saying, "Oh, he's this right wing zealot." Like he's not. He's a liberal. Like
he is a liberal.
He's a liberal, but
he appears to be reasonable.
Well, he just called people out on their self-importance and this idea, like, look, you work for these terrible companies who do these horrible things. Like it's the same thing as like, oh, you do all this stuff in China and you won't say anything about the Hong Kong situation, but you'll tell us why we need to work in environmentalism.
Yes,
here.
Exactly. My favorite part of the whole speech was when he said, when you come up here, don't use it to don't politically grandstand. Most of you have been in school less time than Greta Thunberg.
Yes, yeah.
So don't come up here and grandstand on a political issue. Get your award and shut up. I loved it.
But there's a reason that it really hit because this is what people have known, and they were always afraid to put somebody like that to host. And like, you got to give them credit; they knew that he was like that. I mean, he's gone off the script a lot. And what's interesting is I shared that video, and I think maybe like 10 or 15 people shared my video, and like out of them, like 4 of them are liberals, and they liked it too. So it's not this idea that's conservative liberal. It's the idea is like, look, you can believe whatever you want, but like you have not stood up for these principles in your own personal life.
I know.
And that's what Joaquin Phoenix said, or whatever his name is. Is it Joaquin Phoenix? He
got up there and was talking about climate change and all this stuff, but
he was saying like, oh, if you're not going to do your own jet, like, stop telling other people what to do.
Exactly.
You need to do it yourself.
Do it yourself. And so I like that term, self-importance. All of these celebrities go in this room, and in that room they are the kings and queens of everything. That's and the rest of us who are watching it are like, would you please shut up? You know nothing. You know less about the real world than I know about soccer or hockey.
They forget that 50% of the people are conservative in this country. Like
exactly.
Like you can say what you want, but like at least back it up if you're going to say it, and stop acting like you're some martyr for like in a Hollywood, 80% of people hate Trump. We get it.
We get it. We know. We've been knowing that. Okay, we know. And then staying on this funny topic about kind of making fun of politics, CNN and the Babylon Bee really got into it.
So explain what they are first. Okay. I know we talked about the Babylon Bee before.
We talked about the Babylon Bee before. They're kind of like the Onion, but right-wing. So they're a parody satire news site that started out as a Christian guy really making fun of, like, kind of not making fun of things from the Bible, but making fun of kind of Christian things. Then he started talking about political things more from a right-wing perspective.
But also, like, right-wing, like, trashing Trump.
Oh, yeah, he trashes everything.
Like they trash everyone from a right-wing
Nothing is safe to the Babylon Bee. So the other day, they posted an article that said that the Democrats have called for flags to be flown at half-mast over the Soleimani killing. Well,
I'm impressed you got that name right. I've like, not even tried to pronounce it. I'm like, I know.
I just listened to it like 6 or 7 times before we came in here.
I'm not even trying to bother to do that.
I did my research before we came in here to record. So the CNN reporter said that all of these people on his Facebook were sharing it like it was the real thing, and he was so upset about it. Well, the thing is, one, that's really insulting for him to say that all these people who are sharing it think it's real, because we're not stupid.
Well, some people are.
Well, some people are, but like I would have shared that because that's funny, and people think that, like, to be fair, there were a lot of Democrats that didn't seem super happy about one of the world's worst terrorists going down. Yeah. And then two, that same reporter has tweeted over and over about how much he loves the Onion.
That's the issue.
Like, what the heck?
I get what he says. I just see like the Velvet Hamster, which is Ryan Green, like with Illinois policy, and I guess it's Iron Light. They do something very similar, and it's a great parody site.
So
but you see some of the comments like, oh, I don't believe it's like there is people who don't get the satire.
That's
like,
true.
I give this guy, like, he is right about that. The problem is how he selectively did it to basically do it so that, Republicans seem stupid. Like, you see just as many for the Onion when you say, these Democrats have no idea. So it's like,
well, and the thing is, he's a news reporter, like a CNN news reporter, and he tweets out the Onion. So if you were really concerned about people getting fake information, then you wouldn't be doing that. You're just upset because it's something that it not directly hurts you, but it kind of gets at you.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason this guy's upset. But I thought it was so funny.
Like, it is true that people, I will say, like, you see these people online who just don't get satire.
That's
like
true.
20% of the people.
Bless them.
So, like, I really agree with his point that, like, people do think it's real news. I mean, you can't do anything about it, but people think that. But they think about the Onion, too. And again, the Onion's actually even harder to understand if it's real or fake sometimes.
Yes.
So I think it just shows his selective bias and probably, again, what he cares about if he feels like he's being insulted.
And we all have selective bias.
Sure.
I work really hard. Geez, pro Nick Saban. But I work really, really hard, just even in like conversations with friends, I work hard to not have selective bias and to see every side of it, but I know we all do. But that was one of the most egregious ones because I feel like he really started a fire and got a lot of people all spun up over something that he himself has done.
Ryan started the fire.
Ryan started the fire. If you don't get that reference, go watch The Office. You got anything else for today?
I think we're good.
Okay, I think we're good. If you haven't seen the clip of Ricky Gervais' opening monologue, go do yourself a favor and go watch it.
Put in an email maybe, right?
Well, he says he has some foul language in it.
We're not going to put in the email, but go look it up.
Yes, go look it up, and we will see you next week.